It's good to have you with us again. How's your week going? You know, 30 years ago, 1 in 10 people were considered obese, and today it's 1 in 4. In his fascinating book, The End to Overeating, Dr. David Kessler says that we have really not understood why eating certain foods only makes us want to eat more of them. He says that no one has recognized what's really happening. You know, when I think of a good meal and food and recipes, I think of my mom or my grandma cooking over a stove and making something that's extra special, incredible and amazing, healthy, and just what we need to nourish our bodies and to be healthier. Well, food today is designed with a much different purpose in mind. Food is really big business. That industry is worth over a whopping $300 billion in annual sales. Food is no longer our mom sharing her recipes with the community. Corporations use science and psychology to design the foods and the snacks and often the whole meals that we consume today. Their primary goal is not the same goal as mom's was. Dr. Kessler says that their primary goal is to create anticipation, to make the food multisensory or stimulating, to make us want more of it. It's designed to be ready and available everywhere and hyper palatable. Now, when a scientist says a food is palatable, they're really referring primarily to its capacity to stimulate our appetite and prompt us to eat more of it. They know that when we put food rich in sugar, fat, and salt into our mouths, these ingredients in combination in a recipe, it makes the food hyperpalatable. Hyperpalatable foods stimulate the neurons in our brain, and the message from our brain is to eat. It becomes stronger, motivating us to actually pursue that food more vigorously. Dr. Kessler also says that these foods are actually rewiring our brains. When you eat them, you want more of them. And knowing this, the food industry began to design foods that are layer upon layer of sugar, fat, and salt. Eat more of these foods, and you will find yourself out of control. And knowing this, the food industry made portions much larger, make them more available, and you, the consumer, will eat more often. And in no time, fast food restaurants and convenience stores were on every single corner. Dr. Kessler reminds us that we must remember how food is designed and why it's designed that way. And only then, he says, will we be able to really see clearly what's on our plate. Now, I want to show you a smart food idea that will keep you coming back for more with this key difference. It's full of fiber and dense with nutrients and able to keep you on track for sustained weight loss. Now, these are called, I call them sesame bites, okay? And I wanted to show you how I prep these because it's a little bit different. These little bites are like little crackers, and they are made with almond flour instead of a grain flour. Okay, so I've taken the dough, and when you make this recipe, you take the dough and probably in 2 parts, and I compress it down onto a piece of parchment paper. Then I put another piece over top, and using my rolling pin, I roll it out. Now, something that you need to remember is that this crust or this dough is not going to be the same and feel the same as would a product made with flour. It's a little bit drier, and so that's what I wanted to show you today. this recipe you're going to really like. It's got a lot of flavor in it. It's made with almonds and hemp seed and sesame seed and really good healthy fats, okay? So, but when you roll it out onto the parchment, don't expect it, like I said before, that it's going to look like pie crust pastry or not. It's a little bit drier. So I've taken it and I've rolled it out, and then I just took a little bit of, just for an extra little flavor boost, a little bit of oak smoked sea salt, and I sprinkled it on and I compressed it in. Okay, now the thing that you can do is, if you're going to score it, you have an option to do that. You can score it before you bake it into little bite-sized pieces, or you can simply bake it as it is, and take your pan and just simply put it onto your cookie sheet. And what I do with the little pieces, the edges that come up higher, I just take my knife, like up on the edge of your pan, and I take them and I just place them on the cookie sheet. Just like that. And just let them bake, because like I said, you can just leave it as is, and then when it's done baking, just break it into pieces. And so then that would go into the oven at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes or so. You can do it a little bit longer than that if you like them a little crispier, which I do, but it's up to you. Now, when I eat these things or serve these things, these are ones that I actually scored beforehand. Okay, you just take it like little bites. It's delicious. I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it a lot. It's so tasty. Now this hummus, which I've already given you the recipe for, today I made it with dill in it, which is not in the three varieties I gave you last time, but you can just do anything. You can flavor your hummus any way that you like. And so I just found that dill goes really nice with these crackers, so I added it to the hummus. Now when you want to use this food as a snack, just take a little bit in a Tupperware, put some in it, maybe about half a cup or so, and a handful, probably no more than a handful, because these are seeds and these are nuts. Okay, so, and generally we want to probably eat just what fits on our handful of seeds and nuts in a day, generally. So it's a great food to have around. Once you make these, store them into an airtight container, and they'll probably last 3 or 4 weeks. I hope that you enjoy this recipe, you, your family, and your friends. Until next time, this is Jackie Perry, your food coach.